Good afternoon. You're listening to My Conscious Dad right here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I'm here in the studio today with my dad and co-host Alex Urbina, and today we're going to be talking about our official actual topic is called hashtag relationship goals, which generated basically from people creating online and on Facebook, creating these memes.
What is that? What is hashtag relationship? The first time I heard relationship goals was probably a couple of months ago, and I was like, what is that?
Relationship goals is kind of something that you say in response to something that another couple is doing that you would also like to do or also like to
So it's like
imitate.
it's an acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Like I like that.
Yeah,
Like that's
kind
instead of like in my era, like that's cool or that's dope or whatever.
Yeah,
you just
instead
go
of-
relationship goals. So
Yeah,
you
but
tag it. You tag it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And it is like a form of a compliment. So
Okay, got it.
one of the things that I have here is a list of the quote unquote relationship goals that somebody put together online, and I was going through them, and a lot of them do apply, or a lot of them I agree with. So I think
So you like them? We get the seal of approval on it.
yeah, some of them I think I wouldn't necessarily put them in my top 10,
Okay.
but that's why it's a big list of 20. So we're going to go ahead and go over them and then kind of see what they mean. And then I want to kind of talk about what could be behind us wanting those kinds of things. So
Okay.
do you want to just jump right in?
Yeah, let's jump in.
So number one is hearing your boyfriend's phone go off and not feeling the immediate urge to look at it.
Now is that a female thing or is it or just a relationship thing?
I don't know necessarily.
Is it an insecurity thing?
I think it's an insecurity thing only because I'm a female in a relationship and I don't do those things. Not that I don't have insecurities. I just don't have insecurities about that specific topic.
Okay, but you're speaking vague. What do you mean by that specific topic? Do you mean I don't have insecurities that other woman's gonna swoop him up or catch his eye? Like, I don't want to be vague about it. I want to really break down what that means. Like, what's the insecurity underneath you not being okay with your boyfriend or husband getting a text and you not knowing who it's from or what it's about?
Well, for me, if I see like from far away that his phone has just gone off, I'm not going to go out of my way to look at it and see what it is. If it's right in front of my face and because it lit up, it caught my attention, I'm going to look. Just
okay.
normally.
What if it's a few feet away and it goes ding and you look over and it said all you can see is the name Heather? Are you gonna walk, like stop what you're doing to go figure out who Heather is and what that's about?
No, I'm honestly, I'm going to sit there for a little bit and wonder.
Andrew's over there nodding his head like, yeah, she is.
No, I'm going to wonder who Heather is for a little bit. And I'm going to give him an opportunity to look at his phone and say, oh, my friend Heather from school just texted me.
And what if he doesn't? What if he looks at it and then
he's in trouble.
Why?
Because he should disclose who Heather is. If it's not a big deal, he would disclose who it is. If it is a big deal, he won't say anything.
Okay, what if he hasn't learned that about you, or learned that about women, or learned that about partnership, or learned that it's a way to be in a relationship where you put doubt out of your partner's mind by constantly and consistently being upfront with things? Because I don't know what other classes or trainings or workshops or whatever kind of learning you can do where you actually learn those things. Because if you're a young man growing up in the world and it's your first relationship or your third relationship or whatever, and you haven't learned yet, that maybe that's a certain etiquette that you should be doing in a relationship is when you notice that there's a new kind of a relationship, even if it's a client relationship in business, but if it's a new person, at least you should turn to your loved one or your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend and say, hey, just, I met the most amazing woman or man today, and, we're a client or whatever, and at least give them updates like that.
Yeah, I think for me, not knowing who this, Heather doesn't necessarily have to do with it being a woman. If there was a text that said David, and I have no idea who this David in his life is, I'll probably wonder still, who's this person that's texting him that he's never told me about?
Okay, but 0 to 10, where 10's like the radar going off of worry and panic and mind wandering of figuring out who it is. If it's a guy, it's what? Probably 20% on the radar versus a Heather, which is a 9 out of the 10, or
I don't know. You just went from 20 to 9.
like a
But
3
yeah.
versus a 9.
I don't know about
on
that.
the scale.
I would say like a 3 or a 6.
Okay,
like 3 to 6.
but they're not the same.
No,
so
they're not
gender definitely has something to do with your radar going off, wondering if something's going on, and like all the worry and the panic from your insecurity starts to kick in.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for being honest. I appreciate that. I'm sure other people appreciate it. Is it healthy? Is it a process that you have to get past, or because I got to be honest with you, looking back at my relationship with your mom when we were younger, I can see the insecurities that we both had, and we had to kind of evolve past. But now I believe that at a certain point now, there's a switch that got flipped where your mom just trusts what I'm about and who I'm about and the kind of work I do. And now it's not even a big deal. But out of courtesy, I still at times, at the end of my day, come home and go, oh my God, I met this person, or I got this new client. And I just give, very brief information, or just tell them a little bit about who that person is, just so they know.
Sometimes that's all it's about. It's about
just letting you in, letting you know.
Yeah, you sharing people that you've met or people you're working with, or this new person that's going to be in your life.
Well, good luck, because a lot of guys don't know how to share, and they haven't been, trained, and they maybe don't see the value, and they've never learned that. No one's taught them that. So
yeah, and that's why we're doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and move on to number.
So guys, if you're listening to this show, it would behoove you to kind of share a little bit of your life on all the people that you meet on a daily basis with your girlfriend or with your wife, so that they know what your life's about. So when a Heather text pops up saying, hey, thank you for today, it doesn't now have mind wandering and all the insecurities come up. It's just, it's one of his clients, or it's justified with, it's a friend of his.
Yep. So I'm going to move on to number 2. And it says being able to go a few days without seeing each other and not feeling totally freaked out about it.
What do you mean not being totally freaked out about it? Like if you haven't seen your boyfriend or your girlfriend or even a spouse for 5 or 6 days or even a week and a half, not being freaked out, meaning like you need to get in touch with them, or you need to hear their voice, or
yeah, I don't think it necessarily has to do with just hearing their voice. You have to physically see them or be around them to feel connected.
I get that. I wonder myself how people have relationships that are long distance, and at least not once or twice every 2 weeks, maybe, to get on a plane and go visit each other, just to seal the bond, just to have that kind of physical connection, the intimate connection, the eye contact, all those, that all plays a part, I think, in relationships.
I think the only reason why long distance relationships work or don't work for however long that they go for is because they're constantly focusing on hope. They're hoping, one day we're going to be together. One day we're going to be able.
So the hope keeps them in there.
Yes.
Long term.
And then after that hope dies out and years go by, or for some people months go by, and they just can't do it anymore because they lost that hope.
Got it.
But I think for a normal couple, let's say a married couple who sees each other every day, and then they go from seeing each other every day to all of a sudden now you have to go out of town on business for 2 months. That's a long time. But if you have that established trust, I guess, I assume that's
or
the
unity. It could be a certain unity. Like for me and your mom, there's a partnership and a unity that we have that, it's like when that person's gone, it's like, okay, when you're gone, I'm going with you as part of my spirit, as part of my love, part of my energy to support what you're up to. And I'll do my part here to hold down the fort or whatever it is. It's more of a partnership when there's not that fear of inadequacy or neediness. But I got to tell you, there are times where I'm either gone too long or she's gone too long, where it's like, hey, I really miss you, or even the not sleeping in the same bed together, or rolling over and not feeling that energy of your loved one next to you. It could kind of take its toll a little bit because you're missing that person. I think that's part of love. When you love someone and they're not around for a little bit of a time, you start to miss them. And that missing is just means it's kind of a compliment. I miss you. It means I love you and I want to spend time with you.
I think what they mean, though, in the not feeling totally freaked out about it, I think that is kind of saying not being so insecure that you freak out like they're doing something they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
or-
I'm assuming this comes from the context that you're in a new relationship and you just started dating, and you haven't heard from them for 4 or 5 days, or you haven't talked for 4 or 5 days, and then that mind starts to wander again out of insecurity and making stories up that might not be true.
So the next one says getting into a fight and realizing that fighting doesn't automatically mean you're going to break up. So I think when the relationship goals in that part is being able to express yourself and fight without being afraid that if you say something, they're going to break up with you.
Now, this one, I think you have to really realize that people bring their past broken relationships into every new relationship unless you're really conscious and aware and can really live in the moment and come from a place of, this new relationship is brand new and it's got a blank slate, and I'm not going to muddy the waters with all the other times that I've gotten into fights and then we ended the relationship. So you got to remember that if you bring all that baggage into the new relationship, you could be still coming from that fear. So that fear, when you start to argue, can really kind of get you tagged to the point where you're afraid to even take it any further or take your stand or be firm about what you believe, because it's a symbol for, if I do that, I might push it too far and then we're going to break up because of it.
Yeah, and I can identify that with that because I feel like in the beginning I was always really afraid to
challenge anything.
Yeah, because I was afraid that if I did, he was going to be like, oh, this is a deal breaker, or, even if it was something really little.
And it might be. I think in the very beginning, there are deal breakers,
Yeah, but you never know.
Yeah, exactly. You're looking from, but I feel like deal breakers are born out of the baggage that we still bring from the past. Think about any deal breaker that you're in a relationship and going, that's a deal breaker. You're deciding that from all the other relationships you've had in your past of stuff that you didn't like. So you're going, yeah, I've had 4 other women that do exactly like that. I don't like that. And you got symptoms that look just like that. So therefore, it's a deal breaker. Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. It says going out with your friends and not being bombarded by texts from him asking what you're doing. So
is that like a pet peeve or something, or?
No, I think that, this obviously was written from a girl's point of view because it says him, but I think girls do that too, where they bombard with guys with texts too. I personally would rather, if I know that he's going out, I'll just say, okay, have fun. Let me know when you get home or something like that. So that way he doesn't feel like he needs to step outside of his friends to jump on his phone.
But it also says bombarded. So what does bombarded mean? Is it, if they're out having a good time, it's, hey, I'm out here with my friends having dinner. I really miss you. I hope you're having a good time. Is that one message or two? Or bombarded is constant?
Bombarded is, you can send that message and then respond with, hello, are you there? Where are you? Where are you guys? Respond to me.
So it's coming from a place of neediness.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't hear back from you. Therefore, now, again, the mind wandering out of the insecurities that I have, either about myself or the relationship or you, starts to now be fed. And now I got this big monster in my head that's already convinced me that you're having an affair, you're cheating, or whatever it is. Yeah, that's something that I think a lot of us, when we're unconscious, we don't see that. I'm glad we're talking about it because we're painting that picture of the psychology behind that.
Yeah, and the next one kind of goes with that too. It says not feeling the need to text each other 24/7. I like that one because for me, I like having a separate. I don't want to say separate life, but.
But it's okay to have a separate life. It's okay to have your own life, and he has his own life, and then you guys decide that your relationship is just deciding that it's to share your lives together. But what really gets me is when we live in the assumption that our lives should always, like our lives now that we're together is combined, and we can only do our lives together combined. That's kind of can lead to a codependency. Like, oh, you did that without me. Yeah, I'm my own person. I have my own life. So a healthy relationship to me is you living your life independently and I living my life independently. But we've agreed that a relationship is to share our lives with each other. So when you're not around while I'm living my life, and the next time we get together, I get to share that with you. Oh my God, it was amazing. You should have seen what it was. And Tony said this and she did. You know what I mean? It's to share. A powerful, extraordinary relationship is just in the sharing. It's not in the you have to be in my life or you have to include me in yours. That just gets to be bonus time.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people who are in relationships where if they invite their significant other to go somewhere with their friends and they can't go, and that person goes anyways with their friends, and the significant other gets mad, like, I wasn't there, so why did you go? You weren't allowed to go, or you weren't supposed to go without me.
Yeah, and they can even do digs. So later on when they're sharing, or if a friend comes in and goes, oh my God, and we were in Vegas, I had a good time. I was like, well, I wasn't there, so I wouldn't know. You know, you're doing all the little digs instead of, oh, you guys had a good time. That's, you know, I mean, you have to really be courageous and confident and assured of yourself and of him or her in the relationship.
Right.
Because if not, you got all these dysfunctions that you don't see yourself. You know, you're rolling your eyes, you're doing all, you can see this expression on your face, and then now, you know, your buddy's telling you like, yo, what's up with your girl? She, you know, she's tripping. Yeah, well, you know, she has some, you know, she's still dealing with us going out and doing our thing or whatever.
Yeah. I think the next one's really funny. The next one says
they're all kind of funny to me.
Yeah. The next one says being able to be alone with his mom for more than 5 minutes without feeling uncomfortable.
Now this is obviously, again, like you said, it's from the female perspective. So she's dating the boyfriend, and then he's not there, and she's there with the mom in the kitchen, and mom's doing whatever she's doing, cooking, whatever, and she's feeling awkward. Like I hope he hurries up in peace.
Hold on. Before we finish this, Andrew, you better turn your mic on because you're laughing. You're laughing. What is that like? Are you the one in the uncomfortable mom situation, or is she?
No, she's not uncomfortable, but just because we know and we've been around. But the first when it's all started, it was very uncomfortable. But I was just laughing because that whole situation was brought up. But now that like they're friends and everything like that, it's great. But that painted the picture. I know exactly what it is. That's why I was just busting up laughing.
It's like a certain stage, right? It's a certain stage that happens, and then after that, you get to kind of work out
only if the mom likes you and accepts you into the family.
And
if she doesn't,
it's worse.
Yes,
it's so worse.
So it stays awkward after so moms, if you have, you know, teenagers that are in relationships, or bring someone home in a new relationship, or even young adults, it's very imperative for you, and I know this is hard to say, but it's imperative for you to be liked by them. And I know you can't control that. You can't make someone like you, but what you can do is, you know, work on the things that you can control within yourself. You know, be cordial, you know, be warm, be inviting, be playful, you know, don't bring all your judgments in, don't be short, all those kinds of things. You can really help the percentages increase of you being liked or them feeling comfortable around you, I guess is what it is. I think it's more like, don't they feel like they need to be accepted by mom?
Oh, totally. If you're not accepted by the mom, you just automatically feel like you're not welcome in the family. You feel like, I don't want to go over there. I don't even... you consider...
So is mom the gateway then?
Yeah.
Like the seal of approval?
Honestly, if your mom doesn't like me and gives me a hard time, I need to reconsider if our relationship is even worth continuing.
Wow.
That sounds really bad.
So is it like... So it's like, okay, if I can't get along with your mom, what's the next 60 years going to look like?
Right. What's it going to look like when we go to functions together? What's it going to look like when we have children?
This is a show all on its own. Just this topic right here. No, seriously.
It is. We should get some moms in here.
So it's a deal breaker.
It could be.
It is a lot. Sometimes like, I can't deal with, even with not just your mom, but with your family sometimes, then that's it. I'm done. I can't even deal with it.
All right. So then what I'm thinking on the other side is that person's going, hey, I know my family screwed up, or hey, I know my mom's like that, but I'm in love with you. Or I'm married to you. Like you gotta put that aside, and you gotta remember that we're gonna start our own life, and they get to either deal with it, or they get to get over it, or they get to learn to love you the way I do, or accept you the way I do. You know, so there's this whole psychological process that goes in behind that. But I can see if you're young and you're desperately looking for that approval and you want to try to paint a picture of what it's going to look like in the next 60 years living with this person or being in love or possibly married to this person, I can see that really kind of being challenging for you.
Yeah, and like Andrew said, sometimes it's not just the mom, it's anybody in the family. If the dad doesn't like you, the brother, the sister, the aunts, and I've had my fair share of people who, don't even acknowledge me when I walk into the room. So I know what that's like, but nothing like the mom. So we're going to take a quick break, but stay tuned for more of My Conscious Dad right here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS.